Hey guys, we've had some new anglers joining the community with questions about how to level up quicker. And since I'm doing my grind on the road back to 100, I thought I'd talk about how I've been leveling on each map. Starting today with Golden Ridge, since it's the base game map and everyone has it. So I have 3 methods here on Golden Ridge that I've used for XP, and I've caught 20 fish for each method, put the XP rewards in a spreadsheet, and found the average amount of XP for all 3 methods. So you can kind of get an idea of what to expect if you want to try this. And the first place that we're at right here is very beginner friendly. We are at the river mouth just below the full stomach trailhead. And the fish that you're going to get here, you see already have an indicator for cutthroat trout. You'll also get brook trout and rainbow trout in this area. And most of your experience is going to come from the cutthroat trout and the rainbow trout at silver rank. The gear that I used to test this on was the maiden rod and the Tyro reel, both of which you get free for the Taylor's tackle missions. 4-pound fluorocarbon line, and we're throwing a size 6 spinner. Looking across the or at my spreadsheet, across 20 fish, I got an average experience gain of 64.2 experience per fish. And the last one of that testing was actually a diamond brook trout that was worth 140 XP. So very beginner friendly spot right here. Very light tackle. Like I said, you can get the rod and reel for free from the Taylor's tackle missions, and it's where I suggest starting out if you're trying to grind XP. And for the next target species that we're going to look at today, it is actually tiger muskie and northern pike. As you see, we are at the waterfall up here. We are just above the tight end trailhead. There it is on the map if you're unaware of where to find that. And I went for these on a 22-pound setup. The rod and reel that I used are right here. I'll go ahead and tell you up front that this rod and reel combo is a DLC unlock, but there is a 22-pound setup that is available in the base game for no additional cost if you don't want to do the DLC route. I believe it unlocks at level 25 is when you gain access to the, that setup in the regular shop. And I used a combination of a size 3 jerkbait and a size 3 shad in this location. An alternate location, if this spot isn't working for you, you don't like it for whatever reason, is this cove right here is a good location for both northern pike and tiger muskie. Looking at my spreadsheet, across 20 fish, I average 107.25 XP per fish, with a notable outlier actually being a gold muskie that I got 311 experience points off of. And I point that out as an outlier because I wasn't paying enough attention when I caught it to know if I get my setup back here, if I maxed out the mastery on one of my gear pieces for that fish, because that will add the XP into the fish that you caught. So as you see right here, I'm at 84% mastery on this rod. When that gets to 100%, I'll get bonus XP on top of the XP for the fish that I caught. So I don't think that's what happened in that 311 XP for the gold muskie, but I can't actually say for sure. Either way, I got numerous fish that were above 100 XP, a couple that were above 200 XP per fish. And this is how I would suggest kind of grinding those mid levels if you don't want to go for the trout or just looking for, a change of pace. And the last suggestion that I have for grinding XP on Golden Ridge Reserve is lake trout. The location that we're at on the map is right here. As you can see, we have the Emerald Lake Outpost right here. Just grab a boat and come up to this dark spot. I like to use that floating weather station as a visual marker and just fish around it. But this setup is, or this part of the guide is really for players that are level 35 or higher, because that is the level that the equipment unlocks at. As you can see, I'm using the Growhire, which I'm probably mispronouncing because I can't say that word right. Not the Growhire X from the souvenir shop. This is just the regular shop Growhire with the mediator reel, 55-pound braided line, and I'm using a shad on a size 1 jig head. Most people would probably use a worm, but when I was testing this, I didn't have a worm on me. So I tried a shad and it worked out just fine. Real quick, just because I have been asked about it before, is I only ever use the heavyweight jig heads. I have never found any reason in this game to use the lightweight or the medium weight jig heads. I just always use the heavyweights. Another thing that I did for the lake trout that was different than the first two suggestions is I used the chum baits that were added to the game with the last update. So if we come to the handbook here, you can already see it on the bait and lure preferences, the pro performance. That is the bait that they're attracted to. And if you don't know, if you're looking at the handbook, press Y on Xbox or the corresponding key on PlayStation or PC, and it'll take you to this screen where you have the full list of bait and lure preferences. So if you're ever in a situation where your target fish isn't hitting on whatever you're throwing out, just come to this page in the handbook and, check the bait and lure preference, switch to something else, and see if you can get them to bite on that instead. So I have the Pro Performance loaded up into a slingshot, and what I would do to grind this is just send that out right about there, switch back to the rod, and do a short cast, and just let it jig all the way down. And once it hits the bottom, just let it sit there while you're jigging, and something should bite fairly quickly. If something doesn't bite fairly quickly, then you can pull up and try out over there, move around to the other side of the buoy. Like I said, really anywhere in this dark spot, I believe, is a diamond location, which during my 20 fish that I caught during the testing of this, I first off averaged 163.45 experience points per fish. And in those 20 fish, I wound up with 3 golds that were all worth 268 XP per fish, and 1 diamond that was worth 353 experience points. So those are my top 3 suggestions for how to grind XP on Golden Ridge Reserve. I hope it helped anybody out that was, having questions or was wanting advice on how to level up a little quicker. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe, always appreciated. And drop me a comment down below if you have any questions that you need answered. You can always come and try to hit us up in the live streams. Also, we'll be more than happy to try to help you out there. But yeah, drop a comment down below if you have any questions, or comment your own XP grinds for Golden Ridge. If you like to grind XP on something different, I'd be really interested to hear, other suggestions for that. I'll catch y'all in the next ones, guys.